Welcome to the program, everybody. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. John Baird is on the program tonight, sitting in the red chair. That is the, perhaps the biggest non-partisan applause the honourable member for Ottawa West Nepean got. Ottawa West Nepean, the only riding in Canada with the same initials as the Oprah Winfrey Network. It's going to be that sort of interview. Minister of Foreign Affairs. We're going to get into Canada's role in an increasingly complicated world. And all I can tell you is that no matter what our role is going to be, I want it to be played by Ryan Reynolds or Rachel McAdams. But if we're going to go for, you know, a more mature role, then Christopher Plummer or Fiona Reid. I'm cool with either of that, okay? I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody, but Walking Dead, people watch The Walking Dead? Rick, Father of the Year? Could be. Congratulations to our friend, one of the greats of all time, Randy Bachman. Also to Serena Ryder, Arcade Fire, A Tribe Called Red, Junos last night. Big night for many. Also Tegan and Sara. Nicely done for everybody. So many wonderful moments. Now, Tegan and Sara are going to be on our program next Thursday, April the 10th. Their performance with Choir, Oh Hey Nobu was amazing.
It's not just so physical. I'm the type who won't get up so critical. So let's make things physical. I won't treat you like you're all so typical.
I don't think very many people, and especially not us, thought two queer kids from Northeast Calgary would get to hear. But here we are.
So great. And he's going to talk about an unbelievable setup. Not only did Drake win Rap Album of the Year, I hear he's up for the MVP of the NBA this year for what he's done with the Raptors. So, nicely done. To honor BTO's induction into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, I watched every single movie that the song Taking Care of Business was ever used in. I watched every, except for Daddy Daycare. I could not do that again. I could not do it. Let me give you a piece of advice. It's April Fool's Day in a matter of moments, all right? At midnight, it'll be April Fool's, so happy April Fool's Eve, I suppose. Biggest day of the year for elementary schools, frat houses, and that fun aunt that you have. Let me give you some wise words from a former, maybe current, but mostly former prankster. While covering someone's hand in shaving cream while they're sleeping and tickling their chin is a classic, some can take April pranking too far. So I want to give you some inappropriate April Fool's Day pranks.
Inappropriate April Fool's Day pranks!
Whose horses are those?
Whose horses were those? Under no circumstances should you fake your own death. Statistically, you will find out that at least 2 people are pleased by this news, and you can't handle that. Never prank a ninja. It never goes well. Trust a brother on this one. They have incredible reflexes and a perpetual thirst for vengeance. Do not fake a pregnancy because he won't find it funny. Also, on a more practical level, baby products are very expensive and a lot of them are non-refundable. Do not get a fake face tattoo if your parents are over the age of 60. The risk of heart attack is high enough, okay? Right? Especially after your old-timey dad pummels you for shaming the family, right? If your prank involves knives, that's not a prank, it's a crime. Let's deal with the day. First off, there was you've probably seen it kicking around the news today. Big intergovernmental panel on climate change report today was released. Spoiler alert, it's bad. I'm beginning to think Walking Dead is actually, no, this is a real life story. This is what it's going to be like. We've got check it out on Strombo.com. I want you to make a look at that. Strombo.com, little story on that intergovernmental report. Okay, to politics. I know you've heard about the F-bomb heard around the world, right? Maybe not the world, maybe Canada. Maybe Ottawa. Maybe not even Ottawa. Maybe 7 partisans with nothing better to do, all pissed off that Justin Trudeau spoke like a real person. So he delivers a little pep talk at the Fight for the Cure charity boxing event on the weekend, and then...
There is no experience like stepping into this ring and measuring yourself, all that, your name, your fortune, your intelligence, your beauty, none of that matters.
By the way, I would hope I would not have to say this, but I'm going to say this anyway in case you're wondering. I'm not a member of his party. I'm not on any of these guys' sides. I mean, I believe in democracy. Every side should have their chance, blah, 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 blah. But that is exactly when you use the F word. When you're talking about getting pummeled in a boxing ring. Unsurprisingly, the Prime Minister's office said this is yet another example of Justin Trudeau's lack of judgment. By dropping the F-bomb, lack of judgment? But what? I mean, with lack of some Senate scandal? Anybody? Is that... What's judgment? Hiring the wrong people and then firing them again just a little while after you hire them to run your campaign? What's judgment? Again, I am not endorsing him at all, but if a politician's worst lack of judgment moment is like, oh, they got the F word, I'll take it. Now, here's another thing about this. I want to stay with Canada's dad, Harper. Well, the father-in-law might be more appropriate right now. That big budget bill that the Conservatives announced last month is now working its way through the bowels of our democracy. And I want to give you a spoiler alert. It was another giant bloated whopper of an omnibus bill. And you know those, right? Bunch of new laws that have nothing to do with each other, all tacked onto make a larger bill so they only need to get a single vote. The government spins it. And it's not just this government. Governments in general spin it. They say, oh, it saves time. Everybody else who's, I mean, they say critics, but I say reasonable people say it stifles debate, which is what it does. And ready for this one? This omnibus bill? You know what it's called? The Harper government creating jobs and growth while returning to balanced budgets with Economic Action Plan 2014 Act Number 1. It's a tight, snappy ring of an action movie, doesn't it? Waiting for that sequel right there. And once again, it's all over the place, right? Changes to the Temporary Foreign Workers Program, food safety, rail safety, changes to the Trademark Act. Maybe they're good things, but then again, how would we know? The bills are so big, MPs don't even have time to debate every section, and voting for one of them means having to vote for all of them. But one critic addressed this issue. One had the temerity, had the chutzpah to stand and speak out. Let me read you a quote. In the interest of democracy, I ask, how can members represent their constituents when they are forced to vote in a bloc? How do we express our views, the views of our constituents, when the matters are so diverse? That is a good point. Great point. You know who said that? Stephen Harper in 1995. That's who said, and you know what he was railing about? He was railing about a liberal omnibus bill that was 21 pages long that changed 11 laws. 21 pages long. You know this new budget bill they just introduced? 359 pages, changing at least 39 different pieces of legislation. But imagine going back even further. Could you imagine current day Stephen Harper meeting young Stephen Harper? It would literally tear the fabric of space and time. That's your debrief.